Well, today is the first official day of winter, and man, is it really packing a punch for some areas across the central part of our country. You can see that the actual air temperature right now for some places like Casper is negative 18 degrees. In Missoula, it was about negative 17 degrees, and that's not even accounting for the wind chill. So it feels like we're right in the dead middle of winter for a lot of these places right now. And you can see that cold front is continuing to drop down. We've been tracking it throughout the afternoon, and it's getting lower and lower, and it's about to go into the Denver area very shortly, and you can see just the contrast in temperatures there. So that's what we're tracking towards the center of the country. For us, we are still expecting that Arctic air to make its way to us, but you can see in these pink colors here, it's kind of being held back by some of those mountains in our area, and that's what the Rockies do for us a lot of times. That Arctic air slides over the Rockies and goes towards Denver and the more central areas of the country, but it'll be behind those Rocky Mountains for us. So we don't have to deal with these frigid Arctic temperatures for too long, and I just want to point that out. You can see this is for today, and you can see these purple colors dip down just a little bit more as we go into the overnight hours on Thursday, and then after that we see those more mild temperatures start to work their way back in as the polar air works its way out of our area. So since the temperatures are going to be our main focus, I kind of want to focus on that for tomorrow morning. So we're talking about single digits for valley locations, and if we go over to the mountains, those lows are going to be below zero. So it's a great day to make sure your gloves are handy, and make sure maybe if you're going to be standing outside, you have the glove warmers, or maybe for your toes, because we are talking about lows below zero for those mountain locations and highs just in the teens for some of those spots. Now for valley locations over in the Treasure Valley, again, we're talking about single digits. It's just a little bit warmer than we were expecting for some areas, and that's because we saw a little bit more heating today as the inversion works its way out. But still for Boise, we're expecting a low of 8 degrees tomorrow and a high of just 19. So our highs today, as I mentioned, did get up a little bit warmer than we're expecting. They made it all the way up to 38 degrees, and over in the Magic Valley area, we got all the way up to 42 for Twin Falls. And I just want to point out that's because and part of that is because the inversion is mixing out, and you can tell because those clouds no longer look like they're being capped over the valley. They're a little bit higher. So that's what's been going on through the day today, and what we can expect to see tomorrow morning. After tomorrow morning, we start talking about more moisture. So late tomorrow night, we're going to see the chance of snow start to work its way back into our area. And then there's an additional round on Friday that we're expecting, and then another round on Saturday. But that for us is going to start out as snow. And then for valley locations, we may see some of that switch to rain in the evening. So for your Christmas morning, we may be talking about a little bit of a mix. And if you're wondering how much that is going to stack up for us, well, it's going to be a few inches expected for valley locations, and McCall getting a little bit of the higher end of that. So for your 7-day, again, tomorrow is going to be very, very cold in the morning. So please take extra precautions. If you have animals as well, you want to prepare for that. And then Friday, we slightly warm up to the teens for the lows, and then we see a significant warming trend as we go into the weekend, into Christmas, and into the later part of the week, where we start to switch out of the snowy pattern and we start to see more rain work its way back into the forecast. But if we're wondering about snow on Christmas morning, it's going to be tight, but we could see that small difference in temperatures make enough difference where we could see some snow.
Oh.
And it has to be 1 inch of snow on the ground to officially be a white Christmas.
Yes.
So maybe it'll stick around before the rain moves in.
Hopefully.
Cross our fingers.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Sophia.